You say that you had to, you rewrote From Paris to Berlin. Tell us, what is the song about? What did you rewrite it to be about?
It started out with the line From Paris to Berlin that we really, really liked, because we were absolutely certain that no song has ever been called From Paris to Berlin, which is actually one of the basic things for a good pop song, is that it has sort of a unique title. To call it You and I is pretty boring and has been done over and over. So From Paris to Berlin was quite ingenious, we thought. And then I was like, From Paris to Berlin, what on earth can I put in that? And then I actually remembered having a holiday in Cyprus when I was 17. First time I was away on holiday without my parents. It was with my good friend, and we were partying as maniacs in Ayia Napa, of course. And then I remember seeing this guy that I thought was really cute. And I didn't know him. I had only seen him, and I was absolutely convinced in my state that he would be perfect for me. And I sort of chased this guy around, and then the next night it was like, okay, we have to go to that club because I have to check out if he's there. And he wasn't. No, we can't stay. We gotta go. And I chased all around all clubs to find that guy again. And I never really did, but that was sort of the inspiration, that whole fascination that you can have of somebody not having spoken 2 words with this person. You're absolutely convinced that they are the one for you. And so it's like, I extend it to be not only Ayia Napa, but like all across Europe, from Paris to Berlin. And in the verses, I sort of think about, well, it's like I think of this guy as though I would know what his loving would be like, but I don't, I've got no clue. And then I say from Paris to Berlin, and so on and so forth. So it's really about that fascination that you can have of somebody you haven't really spoken to.
Do you both remember where you were when the news of all the chart positions started coming in?
We were in the studio. I remember when we had the first #1 on a dance chart. That's the first #1 we've ever had. We've always been #2, and we've been #2 for ages. And we've had great success, but we never had a #1 on any dance chart ever. And that happened with From Paris to Berlin. And we were in the studio, and we got a text message on our mobile phones, both of us. And we were looking at each other, and we were like, they shouldn't fuck about with this. This is not a joke. I mean, if this is a joke, I'm going to kill the person responsible. And so we started calling people and checking on the internet, and like really chaotic. We didn't want to be happy until we were absolutely certain that it was true. And then when and I think it was the second week, I think we went right in at top 5, #3, 4, something like that. And then we went to #1. And then I think we were actually very quiet. It was like, we were just happy, just like really happy, and maybe we had a drink, but I'm not even sure.
I think we had a drink, because I always want to drink when something good happens.
So when were you, when did you find out that this was the terms of it being a hit in Denmark? When did you find out that this was growing beyond this to Europe, to the rest of the world?
Somebody sent me a link. I remember when it was #1 on the airplay chart in Russia. Somebody sent me just like an email, not saying anything, like, check out this link. And then when I logged into it, it was like, I couldn't understand a word because it was in Russian. I could only see like our picture from the cover and the title From Paris to Berlin at #1. And then all these like, I don't know, Black Eyed Peas and blah, 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 all these famous artists below us. And I didn't get it. I was like, what is this? And I remember when we were #2 on the airplay chart in France.
Yeah.
We were there for the first time. It was my first time in Paris, and we just arrived, and we were received like kings, like royalties. It was like the head of the label, and they had a translator person, because we don't speak French and they don't speak a lot of English. And they had all these people, and they were like, we're very happy to have you here, and that was translated. And everybody was so humble and so nice to us, and we were like, something's big is going on here. And then he showed us just the chart with, I think it was Craig David at #1 and us at #2 in the French airplay charts. And that's like, I don't think ever happened to a Danish artist before. So that was really big.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And we had a drink there.
Yeah, a big one. The second most played in France. That's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment.
Do you know exactly how many countries you're being released in?
It's 30 something.
32, 3,
4, 5, something like that. 30 something. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the video from Paris to Berlin. What is the video about? Tell us about it.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah, this not the story though, but
no.
but just the visuals and the gimmick about the video is that my childhood dream was to actually ride one of those light cycles. But to tell the long story is that we had this idea, or somebody had this idea, that from Paris to Berlin we should ride this car or be in this car and going from country to country. And the idea was actually very similar to Can't Get You Out of My Head with Kylie Minogue.
So Infernal, tell us the beginning. How did Infernal become?
It started in a nightclub in Copenhagen. And it was really only for fun. We had another band at the time, Pau and I and 2 other guys. And we did a performance in there, I think 3 or 4 times. And the DJ liked us very much. So he said, can you do songs for theme nights? And we were like, yeah, sure, because we produced everything ourselves. And so they had like a geek night, and we did a geek track and a geek show. And they had a space night, and we made a space track and a space show. And well, we did a whole line of different evenings. And one night we did a performance that the crowd really loved. So that actually became the first single, because it was only coincidental, but they loved it. And so we were like, okay, let's put it out. And we got signed, and that was the first single. I think that was in the end of 97.
97, yeah.
Yeah.
What was this theme nights that broke you?
Well, the theme night that made it all happen was kind of crazy. It was a Scottish theme, so they sold a lot of whiskey on the bar, and they wanted us to do a bagpipe track. So we found some bagpipe players in the Yellow Pages, can you believe it? Luckily, they were really good, and they did a bagpipe/dance track with us. And after that, people started getting little notes in the bar and just writing to the DJ, we want to hear the bagpipe song, and like throwing that up to the DJ. And so that sort of indicated to us that maybe we did something that was a bit more special than we expected. And I think within 6 months it sold, I don't know, like triple platinum or something. It was pretty crazy.
Describe to me like a typical workday in the Infernal studio. What happens from the door opens till the door closes?
Well, actually, since From Paris to Berlin came out and become a smash hit, actually there haven't been like a typical day in the studio, because it's like in and out, promo and not promo. But try to describe a day where we actually sit down and produce music, where we have the time to it. Well, it's mainly that we meet about 10 o'clock. Lena, she's at
an hour late.
Yeah, mostly. But when she's there, she's at the computer, you know, writing stuff, emails back and forth from the management. Questions has to be answered and stuff like that. And actually, I'm, you know, like I'm sitting doing bass lines and stuff like that.
Let me have a suggestion here. I think he might have bought a new plugin, a new synth of some kind, and he has to test it. So he's like, and playing around with it, and then all of a sudden something sounds good. And I get up from the chair and, yeah, use that. I don't even say that anymore. I just say, woohoo, when I know it's good, because that sort of spares my voice. And then he knows, okay, I should work on this. And then usually it grows from there. Then you put a beat on it, or if it's really good, then I just leave the computer and start meddling with what you're doing. And then we build on from there. And when we have like a groove, a bass line, maybe some kind of synthy thingy, a beat, then we start talking about, okay, this is good enough for a song. And then usually I go in one corner and just and humming this and humming that. And then I start singing it to Pau. Like, could you do la 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 la? And he'd be like, that's nice, okay. And then we record that into like a dictaphone. And then we move on from there. And every time I sing something he doesn't like, he tries to sing something better, which leaves me guessing, because Pau's voice isn't the best in the world to hit the notes. So it's like he goes out of pitch and out of the song and into something else. And I try like, okay, so he went la, 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 la. And then I try putting that somehow into the song. And then he goes either that's great or that sucks. And then we move on from there. And when we have the melody that we both agree on, then I start writing the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then you start arranging.
Yeah, arranging and producing and do some mixing stuff so it sounds right. And then we, if we're lucky, record the vocals even the same day.
Yeah.